Hey, what's up studs? Ryan here, MandRproductions, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2020 UCS A-Wing Starfighter. Beautiful logo up there on the top left of the box in lieu of where the LEGO logo usually goes, interestingly enough. Find the LEGO logo down here. This is the May the 4th, 2020 UCS set. Epic looking on the box there. Set 75275 with 1,673 pieces for ages 18 and up. Of note, this is the first UCS set to ever adorn the 18 plus moniker, which is kind of interesting. You'll get the new Ultimate Collector Series logo on the top right with the Star Wars and Disney logos on the bottom right. Beautiful, beautiful box art in the black void there for these newer UCS sets. And I hope LEGO keeps this for years to come because they've been flip-flopping on the UCS box arts for quite a while now, and I'm kind of hoping they may settle in on this one. On the back side of the box, you'll find a different angle of the A-Wing on its stand this time with the A-Wing Pilot down there. The pilot's also shown off on the top of the box, and you'll find the measurements for the A-Wing on its stand so that you can know if you're going to have space to display it, and different angles of the A-Wing. It's pretty exciting box art, as exciting as it can be in a black void. I find it really interesting that they've gone with the black void for this set. I really like the way it looks, and I think it's going to get a lot of sales of adult collectors now that may have previously skipped out, but now you see this just, obviously this is like made for adults premium box art, and it looks epic in my opinion. But let's see how that unboxing experience is, because sometimes there's something special with the UCS sets. Of course, you're going to want to open your box on the correct side here. Just like that, very easy. This will flip right open, and it looks like there's no box or anything within. It's just going to be these numbered bags. Here's our instruction manual with the stickers, not 2 sticker sheets. I will get to that in a moment, but you're just going to be getting numbered bags in this set, so none of like the special boxes, white boxes that have like the outline of the ship and everything, which is kind of a shame because usually that's been happening on these UCS sets, but this one I can also understand is small enough to not need it, and they would only do it if they needed the extra little box inside. So the instructions present nicely, much like the box art. We can open it up and read about the LEGO Star Wars design team, see some different shots of the A-Wing. Interestingly enough, I think that's like the 2007, 2008 LEGO book that had like all sets up to 50 years. That was a pretty cool book. Never owned it though, at least not yet. About the A-Wing Starfighter, different things, facts and specs. More stuff here about the A-Wing Q&A, which I'm going to read through. I'm sure that'll be very interesting to read through. But we have something very important to talk about because they said something in here that I think you guys may find interesting. So if you turn to page 7 in your textbook, you'll see that they say, in order to make things easier on everyone, we now include 2 sets of stickers. People can use one as a practice run, so to speak, and then have a do-over if they find their first application was not perfect. This is the case with the A-Wing set and any future LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series model with Canopy Stickers. So only with Canopy Stickers. This is a big problem that I had with the UCS X-Wing, where that was a really tough sticker to put on, but that one also had another problem, which I'm not even going to get into. These ones are just kind of like the lines. They don't have the clear part, which is really the problem, because if you pull the clear part off, it looks terrible and it leaves the residue. But there is only 1 sticker sheet in this. How are you going to say there's going to be 2 sticker sheets and only include 1 sticker sheet? That just seems like a massive oversight. Pretty typical of LEGO, though, to be honest. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But yeah, let's go through the instructions. Looks like on black. I like that. I always like building on black instructions because I have eye floaters. Just makes my life easier. Feedback to win. Looks like nothing crazy back here. So we're going to go ahead and build this up. Your lone minifigure in this set is the A-Wing Pilot here, and he is gorgeous looking. I love the dark green that they used for his torso and his legs. That's just a really nice LEGO color in general. We'll start around back here with the back print. Pretty simple back of his vest that he's wearing. The front side of that vest is a lot more detailed, with a lot more going on in there, including tubing running down to his legs and such. That's going to be running all over the place. It's pretty insane the level of detail they packed in there. The helmet for this character is the same as we've seen in past years. Not the same print, but the same mold. The print itself is actually different, which is really cool to see. Very different colors than what we'll see on the more recent version of the Rebel Pilot that I have here from, I believe, 2017. You can see a very different green color and, of course, different color on the helmet and everything there. So kind of an interesting comparison to see between the two. Also, this older version from like 2017 does not have a second face on the head, which this guy does. He has a very scared expression. Maybe that's the expression the guy makes as he's flying into the Super Star Destroyer in Episode 6. I can only assume. Anyway, that is the A-Wing Pilot. Nice exclusive figure for the set. Again, these figures in the UCS sets, to me, aren't the main draw. Obviously, the ship should be, but still nice figure to get if that's important to you. The A-Wing stand does provide a small place to put your minifigure for display, although I would recommend, unless you're putting the entire A-Wing inside of some sort of glass case, to put the minifigure in some sort of separate storage so that it doesn't get all dusty out there. The UCS plaque for the A-Wing is pretty standard for what we see on LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. You have the set kind of outlined in blue there, A-Wing Starfighter, the name of the set, and the manufacturer, length, engines, hyperdrive shielding, and weapons for the set, which you can pause and read if you care about a lot. It's just one giant sticker on one giant LEGO plate. The stand itself offers a very sleek design and gives the A-Wing a nice angle for display there. You can give it some slight change in angle if you want, but usually you're going to want to leave it at that angle where it's facing forward a little bit, because I think that gives it the faster looking angle, if you will. It looks like the ship is zooming by, so that's the better one for display in my opinion, but you do have a little range of motion there if you do want to take advantage of that. And while you, like myself, may find the irregular placement of the A-Wing on the stand to be adequate, you are not limited by that. You can actually take the A-Wing off its stand. It has the little square in the bottom of the ship here, which you're going to be able to place onto the stand like so. You can have it face forward, basically coming down towards the ground, which is kind of an interesting look. You can also have it facing the opposite way of which it just was, or you can flip it around completely and have it look like it's essentially taking off into the sky up and away from the stand. So you get basically 4 options with the orientation of the A-Wing on top, although I'm going to stick with the main one. The A-Wing, as I'm sure you're able to tell from the box art, presents beautifully, and it's actually bigger than you may think. We'll take a look at it compared to some other LEGO Star Wars UCS sets closer to the end of the video, so stick around if you're interested in seeing that. In the reference photos provided, obviously there's the red stripe that runs down the middle of the ship and then it kind of cuts in as it heads towards the back there. Perfectly recreated in the LEGO version, in my opinion. LEGO did such an amazing job. There's actually some really interesting build techniques going on here on the front end, especially early on in the build, to get that angle correct on the A-Wing, and it just looks magnificent. They even were able to build in the little cutout in the front here just so perfectly. They're even larger, I think, on like the play scale ones. They were able to make it small on this, which is great to see. The underside of this is just kind of all studded versus the top side, which is plated off, which I actually really like the contrast of. Again, one more shot of the underside there. Very beautiful, but not very important to the overall design or what we're really looking at, but still definitely going to be there. There's a little sticker on the front here with an orange triangle. You'll see the same thing on the other side, exactly the same, another orange triangle. A couple more stickers here on the top middle of the set. One of the design aspects that I don't particularly love is this 1x2 tile on this like 1x1 hinge piece, because it's just a little bit hard to get to be centered. And you can see how it is oh so slightly curved to a side. That is one thing I mean, I'm sure you could get it right, and I tried, but eventually it may end up getting bumped and end up like that again. So that's one small thing that somewhat bothers me on the design, but again, very small thing. Moving into the windshield cockpit canopy piece, it's a brand new piece for this set. It's 6 studs wide, and they explained in the instruction manual that they first tried with 8 studs wide, and that was too big and made the set too big, and they went with the 6 stud wide design. It's actually very nice. This is not the same canopy piece that you're going to see on the Razor Crest later in the year, though. They fronted off here with a couple of black 1x2 tile pieces that kind of curve in, which look really nice and sharp on the front end there. It's actually stickered up, which, as shown in the instructions, they were supposed to include 2 sticker sheets, but my set only included 1. But it still was easy enough if you take your time. I really took my time when building this to get the sticker just perfect, and I think I nailed it. I actually think it looks beautiful the way I was able to get it done there. It's a nice looking sticker. The sticker is actually also partially clear. It's not like a solid black sticker. I don't know if you can really tell that on camera, but definitely in person when you hold it up, you can really tell after you pull it off the sheet that it is partially see-through. It's more of a tinted color than a pure black, just very, very dark tint. But you can pull this off by pulling it forward, just like that. Beautiful little piece there. Probably going to have some great mock applications or other things for LEGO or LEGO builders. Anyway, the seat for the cockpit here can move, has some range of motion. You'll see there is actually a little center console piece here. You can kind of pull forward and move up and down just a slight bit. And then, to my knowledge, that is a new control panel piece there. That is one that I definitely don't remember seeing on any other set, although maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks really clean in my opinion. Obviously going to be printed, and it's on a bit of a hinge there, so you can move it as you please. Usually going to leave it at a 45-degree angle or so there. there. You can actually see some of the inner workings of the set, though, inside that cockpit. And yes, this is too large for a minifigure. Obviously, too large meaning you could put a minifigure there, but it would just look a little bit awkward, like a child in a front car seat or something. And then you can see more of the inner workings there. Those are actually some of the gears that you're going to see moving when I move the guns on the side of the A-Wing. You notice that, so that's kind of cool, but we're going to get to those in a little bit. We'll put this back, and you actually can slide this back on top and push it back into place like so. It's pretty easy to use. More detailing on the top includes some printed pieces over here to create a bit of a gray effect, and while I do like it, the back one is a little curved off, so I'm not really sure what the point of that was or if it was on purpose or not, but you can see it's not all three the exact same print for me. Again, not sure what the deal is. They interworked some bit of gray there as well. More gray over here on the A-Wing's right side, our left side. Moving back behind the cockpit here, you have this very large dark red area. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than obviously being accurate, but there's no like storage or anything in there like you would see on kind of the playset models. So it's just kind of like this big area that just exists but doesn't really serve any functional purpose for the set that we have here. There's more gray bits detailing the top of the ship here, giving it a little bit of depth and not just a flat white look, which I really appreciate LEGO going out of their way to add onto the top. Not too much greebling or anything, just a little bit of fancy brickwork on the backside there. So that's basically the center of the A-Wing, and now we're going to take a look at the engines and the guns. We'll take a look at the guns up here first. No flick fire missiles, no stud shooters or anything of that sort of nature to be found here, but we have some very good looking, well-designed A-Wing blasters. And, you know, some people on my live stream when I was building this said they look janky, and I kind of can see that. Like, they don't have the sleek look that I feel like the rest of the ship has. Now, obviously, that's probably accurate. They are very well built, some very nice small little black lightsaber hilts in there and stuff. Little details really count on this one. And like I said, you can lift these up and flip them all the way back like so. And, you know, it's a nice little feature. Not something that I find particularly important. Not going to be make or break to the purchase of this set for a lot of people, and probably ultimately something you may never even care to use. But it exists, and it's nice for the people that care. If you really want to throw your blasters back and start shooting at enemies behind you, you can do that. I specifically remember playing with the 2006 A-Wing, and its blasters, or guns or whatever, were able to flip back like that. And I always found that kind of fun as a kid. So maybe some kid comes along and they find this to be the fun feature. I mean, this is, for all intents and purposes, the main play feature of the set, if you want to call it that. So it's nice that it exists, but not super important for me or probably to you as to whether or not you're going to purchase this. I have kind of one main complaint as to the design of the engine of the set. And what you'll notice here is that this whole assembly is basically what creates the look for the engine, minus the fins, obviously, above and below. But in here, you'll actually notice kind of an empty space, and that's where this kind of fits into, and it's not going to connect into it in any solid way. It just kind of slides in there, and that's just to kind of keep it from going haywire like crazy. But it still doesn't really, and we'll see this Technic bit connect there, and that's the only real connection to the body of the ship that this has. And to me, I don't find that to be enough, because this thing will still wobble like crazy and give you quite a bit of feed. So if we grab that and hopefully hold the A-Wing still here to give you guys a better idea of exactly how much it actually does move, you can see quite a bit of movement there just on this thing's end. So I think that that is a little bit too much, and I wish they had it more solidly connected to the body of the ship, because it just it's a little bit too much wobble in my opinion. So that's a thing that exists on this set that I just don't really love. The actual look of the engines, though, with the stickers included there, very large stickers put on the half-cylinder pieces there, very nice big stickers. Not really necessary though, because they don't add too much detail, so if you want to leave those off, you probably can. I feel like the cockpit ones are important, but these ones you could probably get away with not including. This looks great. It really does. It looks better than I think I thought they were going to be able to get it done. The back of the engine also looks really great as well, with the thrust coming out of the back is this very nice bright trans yellow color. You'll see the same on both sides. It's a pretty symmetrical build, bar some of the smaller gray details that I showed you guys a little bit earlier, but it actually works out pretty well there. And they did a great job with the fins also. Like, they're on these nice little hinges, which you can adjust the angle to and make it look really weird, but obviously, like, you're not really supposed to do that, but you can definitely do stuff like that if you want. Some people may be worried this set is too small for the money, and I assure you it's not actually. Surprisingly so, it actually looks a bit bigger than the Snowspeeder here. You can see it definitely is a little bit taller there, and it's definitely got like the same footprint, right? Like the length and the width is about the same on these two sets, and they go surprisingly well side by side. It actually makes the Snowspeeder look a little bit sad in my opinion, because it sits a little bit closer to the ground since the A-Wing just has a taller stand, but still beautiful looking sets there side by side. And I've seen some complaints, some worries that the A-Wing was going to be too small or that the piece count is so low, but it's actually right on par with a lot of other UCS sets in my opinion, including the Snowspeeder here. The 2012 B-Wing, of course, is not a bad comparison to try and draw. The B-Wing, one of the less popular UCS sets of the last decade, but still one that would go nicely next to your A-Wing. And I think it's important to see the A-Wing next to what may be the biggest competitor for your money in the LEGO Star Wars realm this summer if you're looking into buying the A-Wing. And the other $200 UCS style set available now is the Tantive IV. I've knocked a few pieces off the top, just ignore that, all right? I'm not perfect, but the A-Wing is kind of similar in color to the Tantive IV. The size of the Tantive IV is a little bit longer, but obviously it's a lot skinnier. The Tantive is going to give you a lot more minifigure stuff versus the A-Wing, so maybe that's something you may want to take into consideration. But obviously the A-Wing a lot more displayable with its stand versus the Tantive with no stand, so that may be something for you to consider if you're interested in the Tantive or the A-Wing, and you're trying to make a decision because you only want to get one of the two. This A-Wing is going to get a 9 out of 10 from me. Other than the small annoyance I have with the engine design and maybe the overuse of stickers and the under-delivery on the promise of 2 sticker sheets, it's a really good set. I really like it. It's a damn near perfect A-Wing set. It looks beautiful. They got so many of the coloring things correct on this, as well as the building techniques are amazing. It's such a fun build. The interior of this thing is quite a whirlwind of weird designs, but it works out in the end, and it's definitely a fun one to put together. So let me know your thoughts on this set in the comments section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and you can check out other LEGO Star Wars set reviews and videos on my YouTube channel. Peace out.